Hello Ghana for for any obi biara aha Ghanatube so modofo snowy any I was for matana say maji akonye die no ehun say ai ensem no edoso ye pa eno na mede boy say wonsom no eno eni nipa I was for intempa no di mechie na ensem bia ewo ho ana say bia ekoso ewo man Ghana mu say memfa ensom di mechie.
So the appointments are coming in thick and fast from President John Dramani Mahama, having been sworn into office as president of Ghana 2 days ago. This was the first level of appointments that came in. That was on the 6th of January, and it came as no surprise. The Honorable Julius Debra, former Chief of Staff, retained in the position as Chief of Staff by President Mahama. Dr. Callistus Mahama is now coming in as Executive Secretary to the President, a post once occupied by Dr. Raymond Atuguba during the era of John Dramani Mahama's first presidential tenure. The other name is the Honorable Prosper Douglas Bani. He's the head of Interim Security Task Force, and it's been speculated that Prosper Bani, who is former Chief of Staff and also former Minister for the Interior, will be headed to the Ministry of National Security. He'll be taking over from Albert Kandapa in that regard. But we have some security analysis to share with you tonight as well on who is going to man the security apparatus and where is Kofi Boachi going to be. The other name coming up is COP Bright Odro. His name is also coming up for the security apparatus. So there is also on this list of presidential staffers Dr. Valerie Sawyer, who has been designated here as Senior Presidential Advisor Governmental Affairs. Senior Presidential Advisor Governmental Affairs is the designation that's been given to Dr. Valerie Sawyer. It's new to the presidential staff list that we are used to. Presidential staff list is Chief of Staff, Secretary to the President, Executive Secretary, Deputy Chief of Staffs, and then some directors, Director of Research, and etc. But well, every president can manage his office differently. So this is quite new, Senior Presidential Advisor, because there are two of them. The other one is Augustus Guzi Tano, and he is Presidential Advisor. Okay, so Guzi Tano is only Presidential Advisor. Valerie Sawyer is Senior Presidential Advisor. So perhaps there will be a few more senior presidential advisors. Maybe Valerie Sawyer will be the only one. So she will sort of be the chairman of presidential advisors. I don't know. Because Guzi Tano is presidential advisor responsible for the 24-hour economy and accelerated export development. That's quite interesting, isn't it? 24-hour economy has a presidential advisor called Guzi Tano, who is responsible for that, and also with accelerated export development. Guzi Tano, we all know, is one who has a hands-on approach to export development. We know about his cassava ideas and his philosophy about cassava and all of that. So perhaps President Mahama wants to revive that part of Guzi Tano. But well, 24-hour economy, we're living to see how it starts. Marietta Brew is also listed here as legal counsel to the President of Ghana. Marietta Brew is former Attorney General and the Minister for Justice. Now, she is listed here as legal counsel. Okay, and then there's also Felix Ofosu-Kwakye, Felix Kwakye Ofosu, who is acting spokesperson to the President. Now, the reason why Felix Kwakye Ofosu is acting, we found out as we were looking at the documents. We'll share it with you in a bit. So, yes, so here they are. I think we got photographs of them. Yes, here they are, photographs of them. Chief of Staff Julius Debra, Executive Secretary to the President Dr. Callistus Mahama, Head of Interim Security Task Force Prosper Bani, and Dr. Valerie Sawyer is a Senior Presidential Advisor. Then Presidential Advisor Guzi Tano, and then Legal Counsel to the President Marietta Brew, and Felix Kwakye Ofosu is the acting presidential spokesperson. These are the men and women who will be assisting President Mahama at the office of the president. Now let's get to ministerial appointments. Before then though, let's look at Parliament's Appointments Committee. Now, in preparation for President Mahama's list of ministers to go to the Speaker, sorry, viewers. Let me see what I have some text. Let's look at the ministerial appointments. Can we take the 3 that have come in? Do we have them? So yes, let's start with the 3 that have already come in. These are we're going to speculate these ones. Excellent. So these are this is wrong. This is Abu Jinapo. No. The Jinapo in there is Abu. It's not John. So let me have it again. But now we know that we can talk about this. It's okay. Let's see. Yes. No. This is the MPP Jinapo. This is not the NDC one, but you can correct it later on. We can proceed with the analysis. Sorry, viewers. As you can see, I know both of them very well, so permits me to make the decision. I think this is Abdullah Jinapo of NPP. It's not the other one of NDC. Both of them are Abdullah, aren't they? Yes. This is Samuel, and the other one is John. Yeah. So, Salatu Forson has been nominated for the position of Ministry of Finance. Dr. Dominic Ayini is being nominated for the Attorney General's position, and John Jinapo is being nominated for Energy. Now, what is running through all 3 of them? See it. This is what it is. Now, Salatu Forson was Deputy Minister at Ministry of Finance during the last term of President Mahama as President, ending in 2017. He was Deputy Minister of Finance. Now, guess what? Dominic Ayini was Deputy Attorney General. Is that not so? Yes, he was. He was Deputy Attorney General in 2017 when President Mahama exited office in January. And then John Jinapo was Deputy Minister of Power. In that government, President Mahama split power and energy. So there was Minister for Energy and there was Minister for Power. But now I think he wants to put it together. So all 3 deputies have been elevated to the original ministerial positions. All Article 79 appointees have been elevated to Article 78 appointees. That's how the lawyers will put it. So that gives a signal as to where President Mahama is going, isn't it? 3 deputies, all of them becoming nominees for their substantive ministerial positions. Looks like we know where President Mahama is going. So if within this context we take a ministry, say education, which is very important, where is President Mahama going to go? If we look at deputies and we take education, let's do education. If we take education, we will be heading towards the former deputy, which is Okujeto Ablakwa. He's going to education. Is that a good analysis? Yes, I think that's good analysis. Whilst it's been greatly speculated that that's where he's going, perhaps by tomorrow morning the list will come out. That's where he's going. So, based on this, Okujeto Ablakwa is going to education, and our friend Joyce Bauer may be headed for the Ministry of Transport. Based on what President Mahama has done with the first 3 nominees that are going before Parliament, we can speculate. He had the former deputies being nominated for the substantive positions. I don't know whether that's going to happen in every ministry, but you can then look at a place like education and see that it is Sami Okujeto Ablakwa who is going to go there. I don't know whether Sami will be very happy with that, though, because I think that for the last 8 years, he's been preparing himself for the position of Minister of Foreign Affairs. In case that the NDC won the election either in 2020 or now in 2024, as they have indeed won, I think that Ablakwa was looking at foreign affairs. I'm not sure that he was looking at education, to go back to education where he had been a deputy to Jenano Pokwajiman, incidentally, who is currently the vice president. So let's see what happens more, but we can confidently speculate from this one that Ablakwa will be headed for education. Now, communication is being talked about, and it looks like President Mahama is going to do what he did when he was president the first time. He's going to put communication and information together. That's the reason why I'm going to talk about Felix Ofosu-Kwakye in a minute. But Idrisu Haruna was Minister for Communication before, which was the Professor Mills period, the communication that was without information. Sam George has been the ranking member for communication for 2 terms, and has been quite loud and vociferous in defending the NDC's position in terms of the SUBA issues, in terms of Kelni, GVG, in terms of the things that have been happening at the communication places. There's some rumors, a little bit of rumors that Sam George may have, stepped in the wrong place with people who are influential around President Mahama once or twice over some matters that are not completely clearly said, but there's some rumor like that. And that Idrisu Haruna comes in with a significant constituency within the party. The party has a few constituencies, as you know. John Mahama, of course, one. Certainly, Johnson Asedun Katia is a huge constituency. Other people have smaller constituencies. They want to say that Idrisu Haruna has a recognizable or must have a recognizable constituency within the NDC party, especially within the northern part of the NDC party. Therefore, they are thinking that Idrisu Haruna must certainly have a big portfolio, sort of to boot with the big victory that the NDC has won. It should reflect in a big portfolio for Idrisu Haruna. In the circumstances, those people are thinking Idrisu Haruna should rather be the Minister for Communication and Information when it's put together. But Idrisu Haruna is elsewhere. Elsewhere in the Ministry of Defense, Idrisu Haruna's name is mentioned. Again, here is another area where it is said that President Mahama is going to merge Defense and Interior. You know, he's looking for 60 ministers. He now has 57 to go. 16 of those are going to be regional ministers. So he's left with 32 plus 12, whatever that is. 3 of them out of the 32 are out now. He's settled on that. So he's going to perhaps put some ministries together to help him achieve the 60 without sort of expending too much resource and without reducing too much resource as well. So it's very important. So Defense and Interior. If that Defense and Interior is put together, it becomes one of the big ministries. Idrisu Haruna's name has come up again. James Agaga, his name was always penciled for the Minister for Interior. Now, he also has the deputy stint. He was the deputy of Minister for Interior. At the time President Mahama was exiting, he was deputy to Prosper Bani, who was the Minister for Interior at the time President Mahama was exiting. So if the deputy's theory works, James Agaga should be heading to Interior as Minister. If President Mahama is going to keep Interior separate from Defense. From what we are hearing, no, but anything can change, isn't it? So James Agaga is also in the record. Then there's Ken Ajay, whom we were told was going to be Defense Minister for sure. He too was Deputy Defense Minister at the time President Mahama's first government exited in January 2017. Ken Ajay here was a Deputy Defense Minister. So if the deputy's theory is working, which is John Jinapo, Deputy Power, now nominated for Energy. The Dominic Aini, Deputy Attorney General, now nominated for Attorney General. And then who else? Keselato Forsen, Deputy Finance Minister, now nominated for Finance Minister. Then you're going to have James Agaga, Deputy Interior Minister, now nominated for Interior Ministry. And you're going to have Ken Ajay, Deputy Defense Minister, now nominated for Defense. Where does that leave COP Kofi Boakye? Well, perhaps if Prosper Bani is going to be the Minister for National Security, there is still the role of the National Security Coordinator, which before the ministerial role came was the most powerful one in the national security apparatus. It is still quite powerful because it looks like the National Security Coordinator is where the operations, all the operations matters go through. It hinges on the National Security Coordinator. So it's an important post still. Kofi Boakye might just become the National Security Coordinator. Or perhaps President Mahama would like to do something for the first time, send Kofi Boakye to the Ministry of Interior as the Minister for Interior. If you have Interior and Defense together, I doubt whether it's going to be Kofi Boakye, because then you're going to have a policeman there. When you put police and soldiers together, you're going to have a former policeman to lead. That will be awkward. But if he's keeping Interior as it is, then Kofi Boakye has a potential, as James Agaga does. If he's putting it together, it looks more like Idrisu Haruna. Let's see what the president will do. We don't know that yet, do we? Okay. Foreign affairs is becoming quite interesting. As we've seen that Okujeto Ablakwa is perhaps almost certainly going into education, which I'm not sure he'll be pleased with, the conversation about foreign affairs is growing. Alex Segbefia here was health before, but it is looking very obvious that Dr. Mane Boama will take the health portfolio, most likely in the list next to come. Dr. Mane Boama will take the health portfolio. Alex Segbefia is still quite important to the NDC in the diaspora and the NDC in the Volta region. They will not be happy if Alex Segbefia is left without any important portfolio to reflect the size of the NDC victory. Then you have also Joyce Bauer, who apparently has been lobbying for the foreign ministry job for a while. But as we are speculating tonight, she's almost certainly headed to the Ministry of Transport to take up the portfolio of her former boss, as she was deputy Minister for Transport in the last John Mahama administration. The Honorable Hannah Tete has been working abroad, but she will be very happy to return to the portfolio as Minister for Foreign Affairs. President Mahama has one term, and he would like to get his foreign affairs picking up and working very quickly. In that case, he is going to perhaps be persuaded that one who already knows the terrain, is perhaps the best way to go. So that also might happen. Hannah Tete for Foreign Affairs. And then Kojo Bonsu is here. Kojo Bonsu has the style for it. He's been mayor of Kumasi. He has quite a huge international exposure. And he's a businessman. If President Mahama is looking for a foreign affairs minister who has an inclination towards business, so that you can talk to Asia, you can talk to Abu Dhabi, and you can talk to them about business, then Kojo Bonsu will be the one that perhaps will come to his mind. So that's at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Health here. Omani Boama, we already said it has a shoe-in. It's a shoe-in at the Ministry of Health Department, where at the Ministry of Health, most likely, almost certainly, Dr. Omani Boama will be the nominee for the Ministry of Health. Alex Segbefia will put here because he was the last Minister of Health, and if there's any change of mind in the president's mind, perhaps you think of Alex Segbefia. Well, none has a real advantage over each other in terms of the parliamentary conversation, because none of them is a member of parliament. Members of parliament are going to have an advantage in becoming ministers in this President Mahama administration because of the circumstances. I don't know whether they have it here. We were discussing the circumstances of how many MPs will not be members of parliament. Yes, they're going to put it out. Is it here? Okay, it's going to come up in a minute, and then we can look at it. Okay.
Yo for yako aba uti insem no ese ode anase anya ode day ene wadwintre fa wadwintre no ehu kimi wo comment section no na menje boy enkinkan emo fefe aha Ghanatube so ebusianfo sisiade my crown.